Welcome everybody to our Microsoft Teams tutorial. So I'm going to show you a little bit about the course, kind of where to find everything, and then make sure you explore on your own, ask any questions through the chat to let me know if there's things you couldn't find or if you were having trouble finding anything. So let's jump right in. Let me share my screen and give you a tour. All right, so when you first start into Teams, you'll probably be at this page here. And since you're probably just taking the one class with me on Teams, you'll probably have just access to this one course. So if we click on this, now for you guys, I think it automatically starts at the home page, which is a nice place to start, look around, see what's going on. So it does list like current assignments that are up and available, but there's other places to find those as well. You'll see some recent files over here on the bottom right-hand side, and there's a little blurb about me over here underneath. So if we first, before we get into the actual course itself, what I want to do is kind of show you the bar over here on the left-hand side, because there's important stuff that lives over here. And so my favorite thing that I like the most about Microsoft Teams is the chat feature. So if you click on chat, it gives us a way to real-time text each other. So if you happen to download the app on your phone or anything like that, which I'd highly recommend, because technically you can do this whole entire course on your phone if you don't have access to a computer or anything. And so we just get instant feedback. I get a message on my computer or on my phone that someone sent me a message. If I need to, I can write out documents on my iPad, upload answers, anything like that. So if you're trying to reach out to me, I would recommend the chat. I find it to be a lot more user-friendly than email and a lot quicker and things like that. So definitely take advantage of the chat. The next button underneath chat is our Teams. So this again is just going to take us back to our main page. So again, we're back to our home page. And then underneath Teams, we have assignments. Now, again, we're going to be able to access assignments through the Teams course itself, but this is also another way that you can jump straight to whatever assignments are due in the class, which is nice. The calendar. So this should show you like when things are due. So mine doesn't have stuff in here at the moment, but it should show you like when your assignments are due and stuff. And you can actually sync those assignments with your calendar in your email also. So it all goes together. And so it's actually automatically set to go into your email program. So calls and files. So probably won't use those. Calls technically is if you wanted to do a live call with somebody, which we can do if someone's having trouble or something like that, needs to meet, I can set up a little individual Google Meet so we can have like kind of office hours and stuff like that. Just let me know when you're available or when you want to work on it. And files, again, I'm going to access this through the Teams site, but this just gives you a list of all the different files that are available. So it's easier, in my opinion, to do it through Teams. Okay, so back to our team site. So pretty much the most important part of our team site is going to be the class notebook. So if we click on the class notebook, so yours should open up hopefully to this welcome screen, which describes a little bit about our class notebook. And so it's going to consist of three different parts. So our collaboration space, where we're going to be uploading pictures of practice problems from the packet and things like that. The content library, which is where we're going to find like the classwork notes, videos, if there's any PowerPoint slides or anything like that, they'll be there. And then finally, everyone has their own personal notebook, which you can, upload your own documents to. You can edit things on and stuff like that. So the two tabs that I'll be using most for you guys are going to be the what is due today, where I'll give you a little bulleted list or a checkbox list of things that you want to try to get done before the next class or before for the due date. And then there's also a link for grades, because unfortunately, that's the one weak part about Microsoft Teams, the grade book, unless they've changed it just recently, does show you everything that you've earned in the class, which is nice, but for some reason, it doesn't give you an average, which is weird to me. So if someone checks and it does actually give me an average now, let me know, because I've complained to them about it. So hopefully they would fix it. But if not, in the meantime, I'll be making my own grade sheet for everybody, and you'll be able to find it under this link. All right, so if we go back to see the whole class notebook, we want to go up here to where the 3 books are and just click on them. And it's going to open up some different tabs that you can see. So the first tab underneath welcome, we've got our COVID-19 protocols. So anything they do with FCC and COVID-19, you can check out that link there. The FCC emergency response video, so which I'd encourage you to watch, especially if you're taking classes on campus. I would take a look at that video because it gives you some ideas about safety and evacuations and things. So the next one underneath that is our collaboration space, which I just mentioned. So if I click on it, so we've got a couple things in here already. So week 0 is the stuff that we should be working on right away. That we want to try to get done before the class starts on Monday. And so if we click on week 0, this one's just giving you a little introduction to the class. So we're going to write up a little blurb about ourselves, talk about ourselves. And so I've already got mine on here. So mine's a little long-winded. Yours doesn't have to be this long-winded, but I just want to get something up there so you can see a little sample. And then underneath, we've got week 1. And so notice it's broken up into our 2 different due dates. So again, I'm breaking up each of the weeks into 2 different due dates just to make it so it's not as overwhelming trying to get all the work done by one due date. So again, I've got stuff that's due on Thursday and then stuff that's due on the following Tuesday. And that'll be true for each week. And so if we click on it, again, this is our collaboration space. So what we're going to have is a place to upload practice problems. So I just want you to take pictures of the practice problems, upload them to the appropriate page so we can check each other's work and make sure that we're all doing it the right way. And again, you can message each other, give each other feedback. And so again, I've mentioned this in a document somewhere, but just to kind of mention it here real quick. So this class really lends itself well to group work. So what I've done is I've broken the whole class up into 8 groups at the moment based on major, hoping that if you're in the same major, it's possible you've had similar classes together and you might already know these folks. If not, this gives you a chance to get to know them. But I would encourage you to like share answers with each other on the practice problems, share answers with each other on the homework with your group mates. So that way, everybody's on the same page, everybody's kind of helping each other, learning from each other. And again, you can do all this through the chat. So you can actually look up each other on the chat with each other. It's a nice way to do this. If people want to, get together live and in person, you can actually set up live meets with each other. So that way you can work together in real time, share screens with each other, stuff like that. So that's where our collaboration space is. And that's the kind of stuff that's going to go in there. Underneath our collaboration space, we've got our content library. So again, we've got our syllabus here if you haven't already checked it out. So feel free to click on that little link, go through the syllabus, ask me any questions if you have any. And then again, we've got week 0 and then week 1 set up already. So week 0 is, again, I just gave kind of a brief introduction to the class, so I won't read through it or anything like that. So feel free to read it, ask if you have any questions or anything. But I did give a little what to do this week. So this is just a little rundown of some of the things that I want you to try to find in Teams. If you can't find them or having trouble, let me know. And also to talk about the little introductory video that we had. All right, so finally, I can't show you the personal library because it's not here yet because no one's enrolled in the class, but underneath your content library, there should be a folder with your FCC username on it. So it'll be like your first initial, your last name, and then your last 3 of your ID number. And underneath of that, you'll find what is due today folder, a grades folder, and I may have a few other folders for you guys to make your own stuff in and things like that. But again, that's going to be where our class notebook stuff lives. So again, when your personal notebook shows up, if you have any trouble finding any of that stuff, just let me know. All right, so that's our class notebook. So that's where we're going to spend probably the majority of our time. So the next one we've got is our assignments. And so again, these are all the assignments that we're going to be doing week 1. And so I've got them divided up as into, well, I don't know why there's two day 1 exit tickets on here. I got to delete one of those. So anyway, so this will be like, so we'll do a day 1 exit ticket, a homework that'll be kind of due by the first due date. Day 2 exit ticket, homework 2, that'll be due by the second due date. And then we also have our collaborations that we're going to post that'll be due by that second due date as well. So again, we can access these here. You can click on them, go in and work on them with the homework. So again, I would encourage you to work with your group mates on the homework. So when you do, what I want you to do is just take pictures of them, upload them to the homework folder, but definitely ask questions like before you upload them. So that way, because I'm mostly grading them to see that you're finished them. So if you have questions, I'd rather ask before you actually upload them so we can get the correct answers uploaded instead. All right, so next we've got our grades. So again, so this does work in the sense that it'll go through, it'll show you what grades you've earned in every class. But again, as of last semester, for whatever reason, it didn't actually average your grade. So if it happens to average your grade at this point, someone please let me know, because if Teams is going to do it, there's no point in me doing it also and having a separate link for it. I'd rather it happen in the site if possible. But if not, we'll use the grades folder in our class notebook. All right, so reflect and insight, those are normally more for me than you guys, so don't worry about too much about those. And then underneath what I've got is I've got some different channels that are going on. And so the general channel is a nice place to post messages and stuff like that. So sometimes I'll post messages, they'll end up in the general folder, so you can actually reply to these and things like that. And so I've actually got one for week 1, which does the same thing. So notice in week 1, some of the posts are just all the assignments that are actually due this week. But if you also look above, like there's a files option. So if you go, like there's all those classwork things that I had uploaded in the class notebook as well. So if you want, you could come in here, print them out, however you want to look at them and things like that. So there's a couple different places to access the different files in the book. And then notes would be if you wanted to share something with the class or anything like that. So I've got just a generic thing at the moment because I was just playing around with it just to see how it works. But technically, like you could actually collaborate with each other through this individual chat too, which is nice. If you just hit start collaborating, you can upload pictures, you can do any of that kind of stuff. So we may do some of that stuff as well throughout the class. So all right, so that's just a quick, brief introduction to Microsoft Teams if you haven't used it already. So again, look around, spend some time this weekend trying to familiarize yourself with it. Message me if you get stuck or have any questions or anything like that. And otherwise, let me try to stop sharing the screen here real quick. There we go. And so otherwise, message me, let me know if you have any questions. And I look forward to working with you guys starting on Monday. So good luck and have a good weekend before school starts.